the method of meditation, what is the right method of meditation. So it has been discussed here. So it is the sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita where Lord Krishna says that Uddharedat manatmanam natmanam avasadayet. So this mind, in the mind there are various emotions. So these emotions, they influence the mind, and if the emotions are good, then the mind gets elevated into a better space. And if the emotions are bad, or they're lower, if they're lower emotions, then the or inferior emotions, then they drag the mind into inferior state of consciousness, or inferior states. So this is how the life goes on, from inferior to medium to superior, again coming back to the medium, and again going back to the inferior. And in this way we just oscillate within good and bad. But Lord Krishna says that you need to always keep your mind into the elevated state of consciousness. That is, your mind should not come down, your mind should not fall. So how can I keep my mind in the elevated state where I can have access to superior, where I can have access to superior emotions, superior quality of thoughts, superior quality of knowledge. So how can I hold my mind into that state? It is called, when we can hold our mind with the qualities. There are three qualities, there are three attributes: sattva, rajas, and tamas. So if we can hold our mind into these into the sattvic attributes, like all the attributes which give happiness, which give joy to us, an inner joy, an inner feeling of peace, of bliss, or inner feeling of purity, of serenity. So when these kind of feelings comes through some kind of thoughts or emotions, they are called sattvic thoughts or sattvic emotions. So our duty is to always hold on those sattvic quality, so that the mind can travel further, the mind can elevate further into that space where it is beyond qualities. And that is the goal of my life. The goal of my life is not to hold on to the superior qualities, or superior superior thoughts, or superior emotions. The goal of my life is to go beyond this inferior and superior quality of thought or emotions or states. Okay. So as the yoga says, that the mind has got five states. It is called, the first one is shipta, then it's vikshipta, then it's mudha, then it is ekagra, and the last one is turiya. So when the mind gets hold to the tamasic qualities, that is the most inferior qualities, then the state of the mind is called shipta. It is completely like, it is completely distracted, it's completely distracted and destroyed. Like, the mind loses all its good qualities, the mind loses all its energy, all its power, and the mind becomes helpless helpless, sleepy all the time, and wanting to do nothing. So that is what that happens to the mind. So it says, when you hold on to these tamasic attributes, then the state of your mind becomes shipta. And then there is this rajasic attributes, that is rajas, which is called attachment, desires. When you talk about desires, you also have to talk about anger, because anger and desire, they are just two sides of a coin. Like, I have desire, I have desire. So when I have desire, I have to know it very very clearly that these desires are not going to get fulfilled. And when these desires are not going to get fulfilled, then I am going to have anger. So desires and anger, they are two sides of the same coin. So when we talk about rajas, then rajas means desires and anger. So when you hold on to those emotions which only produces desires, when you hold on to those emotions or those thoughts which only produces anger, that is called rajas. So when your mind holds on rajas, the state of mind is called bikshipta. Bikshipta means complete distraction. You're completely crazy. You're crazy. You do not have control. You do not have control over your mind. You do not have control over your emotions. You just it's like the horse which is running freely. You cannot. You don't have the reins. The horses, your chariot is tied with five horses, and these five horses are running on their own. The five horses are running in five directions. So what is going to happen to the chariot? If the five horses are running at the same direction, then the chariot can move. Now these five horses, they don't have reins. They don't have reins, and the person who is going to control over the horses, he doesn't have any control. And the horses are running according to their own will, according to their own wish, in their independent directions. So what can happen to the chariot? So the the situation which will happen to the chariot, this condition happens to us when we hold on to rajas. Our mind does not have any control. We don't have any control over the mind, and the mind does not have any control over itself. It just keeps running and running. So this state is called bikshipta, or distracted, complete, in a state of complete distraction. And then sometimes what happens is the mind shifts from the tamasic quality to the rajasic quality, and again from the rajasic quality it comes back to the tamasic quality. So there's a shifting going on. So that state of mind is called mura. That is completely numb. He becomes completely numb. He doesn't understand what to do and what not to. He becomes completely lunatic, numb, just stupid. Stupid. He does not know what to do. He does not know what to say. He does not know what to go, where to go. He does not know what to do next. So it becomes completely, a stupid person. So that is what happens when the mind, shifts from the tamasic and the rajasic qualities. Now the third among these qualities is called sattva. Now when the mind gets hold of the sattvic quality, then the mind becomes quiet. The mind becomes quiet, concentrated, ekagra. Ekagra means concentrated. It is concentrated into one point. And when it is concentrated in one point, then only it gains gains its capability to to perceive. It gains its capability to have this conviction about the truth. That is called dharana. When a person has the conviction of the truth, then only he can meditate upon the truth. And when he meditates upon the truth, then only he realizes the truth. So to realize the truth, it is very essential that you have the quality, you have the capability to uh, to uh, to have this perception. You have you can perceive who am I. So this only happens when your mind is calm, when your mind is you know is established into sattva. Then only you can be very calm and quiet, and then you can hold on these thoughts, perceive. And then, when you perceive the self, then you automatically go into the next step, into the fifth state of consciousness, which is called turiya. Turiya means samadhi. Turiya means the state of super consciousness, the state of union, the state of union with the supreme self, with the universal self. So, this is the goal. So, how to reach the goal? Krishna says that urdharedat manatmanam natmana avasadayet. You need to always keep your mind into the higher state of consciousness. How can I keep my mind into the higher state of consciousness? When I can hold on to the sattvic qualities. When I can hold on to the sattvic qualities. When, all through my day, I will see that I don't have any attachment. I don't have any anger. There is nothing to make me angry. There's nothing to make me attached, feel attached. There's nothing to have, make me, long for something. I'm so happy with myself. I'm so contented with myself. I'm so peaceful that there is no longing within me that I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to achieve this, I need to. No, I don't need anything. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. So when this happens, when your mind is established into this sattva, sattva, then only, you know, then only it loses its it the it it has it loses its capacity to get distracted, and it gains its capacity to go beyond this sattvic quality into the state of complete dissolution, complete union with the self. So Krishna says, Urdharedat manatmanam natmanam avasadet. You need to always be very careful that your mind should not go down, fall. It should not, it should not fall into the inferior state of emotions. Atmaiva hyatmano bandhu. If you can keep your mind always in this elevated state of consciousness, then your mind is a friend. The mind is only your friend when you have kept your mind, when you have kept your mind into the state of elevation. When you have kept your mind into the superior qualities, into the superior, superior emotions, superior thoughts, then only your mind is your friend. When you can have complete control over your mind, when your mind is peaceful, when your mind is peaceful, then only it is under your control. When your mind is distracted in a chaotic, when your mind is chaotic, then it is not under your control. It's not under your control. There is danger. There's danger. So it says, Atmanne Vatmano Bandhu, that you are your own friend. Your mind is your best friend. Bhagavan is to say, your mind is your guru. But which mind? The calm mind. The mind which is calm, quiet, still, still. That mind which is still is your friend. So, Atmanne Hyatmano Bandhur Atmaiva Ripuratmana, and your mind is also your enemy. When is your mind your enemy? That mind which is not under your control. That mind which is not under your control, that mind is your enemy. So you are your own enemy. You are your own. Now you have to decide whether I'm going to be my enemy or my friend. If you become your friend, then you will see your friend is going to take you to the to the highest level, to the highest level. And if you decide that no, I want to become my own enemy, so it is going to drag you into the lowest and the most inferior states. So you need to always cling on to the highest or the higher emotions, higher attributes, the sattvic attributes. Okay. Then in the next verse, he reiterates the same thing again. He says, Bandhurat manat tasya yenat maivat manat jita. He says that his mind is his friend. Whose mind is his friend? That mind which is under control. That mind which is under control is your friend. If your mind is not under your control, he is not your friend. So, before he said that your mind is your friend, but which mind is your friend? That mind which is under your control. That is your friend. That is going to take you to the best place ever. Anat manastu satrutve vartetat maiva shatruvat. And that mind which is not under your control. That mind which is not under your control, it is your enemy, and it is going to act like an enemy. It is going to act like an enemy, and you can feel that, you will feel that your mind is your enemy, and the mind is taking you, just downwards and downwards. It has dragged you into the inferior states. Then Krishna talks about the goal, how to reach the goal, and what is the goal? What is the goal of yoga? Why are we going to practice yoga? Why are we going to practice meditation? Why are we going to practice Vedanta? Why? He says, Jitatmana prasantasya paramatma samahita. I am going to practice yoga or meditation. I am going to practice Vedanta because by this I am going to get hold over my mind. My mind will be quiet. My mind will be calm. And because my mind will be calm, I am going to get hold over my mind. So that is called Jitatmana. That I am going to go get hold over my mind. And when my mind is under my control, prasantasya, then only I am happy. Then only I am peaceful. Before that, it is impossible to have peace. Only when my mind is under my control, then only I can have peace. So, Jitatmana Prasantasya Paramatma Samahita, and that mind which is peaceful is always, it's always dissolved, absorbed into the Supreme Self. That mind which is calm and quiet and serene, still. That mind which is still is always absorbed into that Supreme Self, that Supreme Consciousness. Jitatmana Prasantasya Paramatma Samahita. And how to reach that state? How to reach that state? Before also Krishna said that the best way to reach that state of highest, the highest consciousness or supreme consciousness is to always have equanimity. This is the very practical and very easy way to attain yoga. In our life, during our day-to-day life, we always come across two opposite emotions or two opposite conditions. One is good and the other is bad. One is happy and the other is sorrow. One is profit and the other is loss. So always, we have these two opposite, opposite conditions which we have to deal. And when it is favorable, when the condition is favorable to us, we are attached to that, we like it. And the conditions which are not favorable to us, we don't like it, we always run away from those. Krishna says that if you can have the same type of acceptance or rejection, if you have to accept the good, you have to accept the bad also. So the way you are accepting the good, if you can accept the bad also, then that is called sameness. So if you cannot accept bad, then you have to reject bad. So if you have to reject the bad, then you have to reject the good also. So there also you need to have sameness. So if you can have sameness, if you can have sameness in all your actions, in all your day-to-day life, then you can reach the state of supreme yoga, supreme consciousness. It says Paramatma Samahita, that is dissolved into the supreme self. Now he is giving you a very very simple way how you can get dissolved into the supreme self. He says Shitoshna Sukha Dukeshu. Like there are two seasons. One is winter and one is summer. You know, when it is winter season, it is very cold, but we don't die, we don't get depressed. Why? Because we know that this is going to pass. And there is another time which is going to come, which is summer. Okay? And for those like we in India, for us, the summer season is terrible. So when the summer season comes, what do we say? That yes, winter is also coming. It's not that only summer is going to stay; it's also going to pass. Winter is going to come. In the same way, when happiness comes, when happiness comes, you have to know that this is going to pass, and sorrow is going to come. And when sorrow comes, you need to know that this is also going to pass. Happiness is going to come. So if you can have this sameness in your approach towards happiness and sorrow, then you can attain self knowledge very easily. So it says Shitoshna Sukha Dukeshu, the way you treat cold and summer, winter and summer, the way you treat winter and summer, in the same way, if you can treat you know if you can treat happiness and sorrow, and tatha manapamanayo, and praise, and the people who praise you, or the people who criticize you, or the critics and the praisers, if you can have the same kind of approach towards both, if you can have the same kind of approach towards both, then you have attained the state of supreme yoga. You have attained the state of supreme yoga. So it says that Shitoshna Sukha Dukheshu Tatha Manapamanayo. You should always have, the same kind of approach for your, praise, as well as for your critics. The same kind of approach. Then he, he again he goes into, tries to reiterate the same thing again, and tries to make us understand better what he says. Jnana Vijnana Triptatma. Tripta means completely satisfied. So how can you become completely satisfied? When you have jnana and vijnana. Gyan means bookish knowledge, intellectual knowledge. The intellectual knowledge of the scriptures, that is called jnana. And vijnana means the realization of that knowledge. So not only you should have realization, you should always have, you should also have intellectual knowledge. You should always know. You should also know what is what is where is this written, what is that written. So you need to know about the theory, and as well as you should have a practical experience of that both. Then only you can become happy, you can become satisfied. Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Kuthasto Vijitendriya. Kuthastha means, Kutha means dark. Kuta means Maya, magic. So Kutasto, a person who is in the dark, who sits in the dark, but is not darkness. He is also manifesting that darkness. He is also, he's also brightening that darkness. He's also giving light to the darkness. What is that? That is the self. So you are that self. Jnana Vijnana Triptatma. The moment you attain, this knowledge and the experience, then only you can feel that, you can feel him who not only stays in the light, but he also stays in the darkness, and he manifests that darkness also. Now I see that this is darkness. How do I see that this is darkness? I see the darkness by a light. The darkness also has to be seen through a light. Without light, I cannot see that this is darkness. So when I say that this is darkness, it is not that there is no light. It is less light. There is light. So the one who is manifesting that darkness is Kuthastha, is the self. So when you have the, when you have the knowledge and the practical experience of that, then only you can know that one, that self, who not only manifests the bright side, but he also manifests the darkness also. Okay? Kuthastha Vijitendriya, and knowing whom you can gain control over your senses, over your mind. Without knowing him, you cannot have control over your senses, you cannot have control over your mind. So when you need to have control over your senses, then you have to gain control over, you have to know yourself. Know that Kuthastha, know that one who is manifesting the darkness, manifesting in the darkness, one who is manifesting himself within the darkness. Is not only manifesting the darkness, he is also manifesting himself within the darkness. Where people find nothing, there he is. He is. There people find him. There people find him. So that him is the supreme consciousness. Yukta ityuchyate yogi samaloshta ashma kanchana. A yogi, is connected with the self in such a way. A yogi, or the person who is self-realized. The person who is self-realized is connected to the self in such a way that for him, a lump of earth, a stone, okay, a stone, samaloshta ashmaka, a lump of earth, a stone, or gold is the same. He does not have any difference. A stone, a mere stone, or a mere lump of earth is the same to him as a, as a, as a, as gold. So, that is what the yogi is. He has the sameness in everything. So when you can develop this sameness in you know, each and every life events, each and every moment of your life, then you know that you have realized the self. Then it says, Suhrin Mitra Ari Udasin Madhyastha Dveshya Bandhushu. He says, Suhrin means the well-wisher, one who has the same kind of, same kind of approach for all these people. Who are these people? Suhrin, that is well-wisher, Mitra, friend, Ari, his enemy, Udasin, a person who does not have, any interest in him, Madhyastha, a person who, who is the middleman, Dvesha, a person who always has jealousy for him, or Bandhushu, a person who is a co-worker. He has the same kind of, approach for all these people. Sadhushvapi cha papeshu, and also for the, for the pious and the pious and the and this papeshu, and the sinner. He does not have. He not only has, the same approach for his friends or his enemies or his, well-wisher, or his, or his co-worker, or somebody who is a middleman, or somebody who has jealousy for him, but he also has the same type of approach for a pious and a sinner. For a pious and a sinner, he has the same kind of approach. So this is called sama buddhir vishishyate. He has got the same kind of attitude, and that is called a yogi. Okay, so today we stop here.